Good day everyone. In this video, we will be discussing about the Unit 4 of our subject, Teaching ICT as an Exploratory Course. In this unit, we will discuss office productivity, particularly using the Microsoft Excel program. This is the part 1 of this video lecture. I am your instructor, Mr. Zach Corpus. In this presentation, we expect to achieve the following objectives. First, to be able to define what is spreadsheet programs, and Microsoft Excel. Number 2, identify the uses of Microsoft Excel. Number 3, identify and navigate Microsoft Excel parts and their functions. Number 4, perform basic Excel commands. Number 5, working with your worksheet. And number 6, identify Excel vocabularies. Let's start the ball rolling. Let us discuss the first topic, which is about spreadsheet in Microsoft Excel. So when we say spreadsheet, it talks about the sheet, or it describe about a sheet of paper that shows accounting and other data in rows and columns. If you try to recall in your accounting subjects, you are using this columnar ledger. So there are columns and rows, and in the intersection of column or rows are what we call cells, or the rectangular intersections of columns and rows, wherein it contains, or it is where we input, you place figures or data that you wanted to display or present in a ledger or in an accounting report. So that's what we call a spreadsheet. Okay, it has rows and columns. Rows, these are the horizontal group of data. And then columns, these are the vertical group of data in the spreadsheet. And in later time, uh, application programs were introduced. They are what we call spreadsheet programs. That's why a spreadsheet is also a computer application program that simulates a physical spreadsheet by capturing, okay, the things that we do in paper and pencil, or the things that are done by some accountants or other people preparing datas in a ledger. They are also done in the application program. Okay, the spreadsheet application program does all those things like capturing, displaying, and manipulating data arranged in rows and columns. Just like what we have here in our screen, it is a screenshot of a spreadsheet application program. Yeah. Moving on, when we say also spreadsheet, it is a program that allows you to use data to forecast. When we say forecast, you are presenting the trend of data, the behavior of data that are available at present. You are forecasting it. So that's forecast. We also spreadsheet also allows you to use data to manage information, because you can do filtering. You can you can record all the data that you want, and then after this data are recorded, you can manage them. You can sort, you can filter, or you can perform other manipulations that you wanted to do. Okay, and another important or a very useful function of spreadsheet program is to predict, okay, and present information. Yan. Ito yung magandang gamit ng spreadsheet program. By learning or by forecasting the available data, the behavior of data that we have in the past, we can use them to predict what the data will be in the future. 'Di ba kagaya yung ginagawa nila ngayon sa pag-analyze ng data ng COVID-19 cases. So by collecting the data that we have in the future, or the trend or behavior of data that we have at present and in the past, by analyzing them, na-detect nila kung or na-predict nila using a spreadsheet program kung ano pa yung kahihinatnan ng data sa mga susunod na araw. Yan, di ba? Parang yan, nung inanalyze nila yung data, predict nila na by April, pwedeng maging 1 million. At the end of April, pwedeng maging 1 million na yung mga naging cases ng COVID-19 sa atin kung hindi tayo gagawa ng paraan para ma-reduce yung cases. Okay, so basically yan yung gamit ng spreadsheet. Napakaganda ng gamit ng spreadsheet to forecast, to manage, to predict, and present information. Because if you just present information in a paragraph form, yung hindi siya naka-table, hindi ito madaling maintindihan ng mga tao. But if you use a spreadsheet program, in a combination or the data presented in columns and rows, at a glance, sa unang tingin lang, maiintindihan na nila kung ano yung ibig sabihin, or mas madaling intindihin kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng data kapag ito ay na manipulate or na present gamit ang spreadsheet program. Okay, so hopefully you were able to catch up or learn something new about how a spreadsheet works. So we are talking about a spreadsheet, and here comes Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is the spreadsheet component of the Microsoft Office suite or suite. Okay, so we have several application programs that are within the Microsoft Office, like the Word, PowerPoint, Visio, Access, and of the uh, one of the programs that are within the Office family is the Microsoft Excel. Okay, so primarily, the Microsoft Excel is used to enter, edit, format, sort, perform mathematical computations, save, retrieve, and print numeric data. So yung diniscuss natin kanina about the use of spreadsheet programs, so those are the things that you could do in the Microsoft Excel application program. Yan. And here are some uses of spreadsheet program like Microsoft Excel. So in schools, we use a spreadsheet program for student grades. Yan. Your grades or the class records are represented, they are managed, they are calculated using a spreadsheet program. And also payroll. Yan, in school, there are workers, there are teachers, there are staff, there are personnel. So one way to compute their salaries instantly or easily and with the less error or accurately, and they use the Microsoft Excel or an spreadsheet program. Yeah, so they use it for example, for preparing the payroll. In sports, individual and team statistics. Okay, so that's one of the use of a spreadsheet program. So you can easily, let's say, manage all the data about individual and team statistics. Let's say what team has the highest number of golds attained, number of silvers, number of bronze, just like that. So they are easily computed and they are easily presented with the use of Microsoft Excel or a spreadsheet program. For personal use, we could use spreadsheet program for checkbook. For persons who have checkbooks, you can easily identify the or manage yung checkbook mo. Let's say ilan yung na-issue mo ng cheque, kanino mo in-issue, magkano ang in-issue mo, ano yung mga cheque mo na malapit ng pondohan, ano yung mga cheque na in-issue mo sa ganitong tao, sa ganitong organization. So you can easily manipulate or present those data using a spreadsheet program. And also, household expenses. Yan, very useful din ang spreadsheet program. You record all your expenses, let's say in a week, in a month, or in a year. So you can do that using a spreadsheet program. So that when you record these things using a spreadsheet program, you can predict, di ba? You can forecast and you can also predict kung ano yung mga months na pwede kang magkaroon ng mataas at mababang expenses for you to manage your finances. And also for businesses, yan, payroll nabanggit na rin kanina, and for investments. Yan, yung sa business, sa stocks, ganyan, mga investments nila na pre-predict nila, nako-compute nila yung mga ROIs, yung sales report, yung trend of sales. So they use the spreadsheet program. And of course, for offices, spreadsheet program is a very powerful tool in designing forms, yan, reports, and data presentations. So these are some of the uses of the spreadsheet program in different scenarios, like in school, sports, personal, businesses, or in a more common use in offices. This time, let us discuss about the Excel parts and their functions. As you open the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet program, you will see the Microsoft Excel window, just like what we see in our in your screen. So these are the basic parts of the Microsoft Excel. All these parts are also available in the module, in our module that you downloaded before. So to study more about these parts and their functions in Microsoft Excel, you can open your module and read and study them. Let us try to familiarize with the different tab or the some common tabs in the Microsoft Excel window. First one is the File or the File tab. The File tab menu contains the commands most commonly associated with the file. So as you click the File tab in here, it displays all the things that are in relation to the file itself, like save, save as, open, close, and some other menus in here. We also have the Home tab. The Home tab group contains the commands most commonly associated with the formatting and editing of cells in their contents. So in the Home tab, you can see all the commands or buttons if you want to perform some formatting and editing of cells in their content. We have in here the clipboard just like the paste, cut, copy, and the format painter. We also have the font. So these are some tools you can use to format your font. We also have alignment, and just like you left, right, center, justified, merge, and text alignment. So all tools that is related to aligning the text or the content of the cell is found in this group. We also have the number. The number group offers options or formattings related to the cell content or to the number. We also have styles like conditional formatting, format as table, and as cell styles. We also have cells and of course the editing. So this is the home tab. Another tab in the Microsoft Excel ribbon is the Insert tab. This group contains the commands most commonly associated with adding something to the document or to the workbook, like tables. If you want to insert some tables on the Microsoft Excel. We also have illustrations if you want to insert some objects like picture, clip art, shapes, smart art, and some screenshots. We also have charts. If you want to create charts or if you want to present the data into charts, you could use the charts group. We also have spark lines. It is also associated with charts. We also have the filter, hyperlink, text, and symbols. So that's the insert tab. We also have the page layout tab. In this group, it contains the commands most commonly associated with settings that would affect the entire page or worksheet, like themes for visual formatting, or some if you want to apply some themes of colors, fonts, and effects on the text within the worksheet. We also have page setup like margins, orientation, size, print area. We also have the scale to fit. Yan. We also have sheet options and of course arrange. Okay, so please disregard these things. The page background in here and a paragraph. It talks about the scale to fit and the sheet options. Okay, so moving on, we also have in here the formulas or the formulas tab. In this group, it contains the commands most commonly associated with Excel's formulas and functions. So we have the function library. So you can see all the different functions that are available in Microsoft Excel using the formulas tab under the function library. And we have some AutoSum, recently used, financial, logical, text, date and time, and so on. We also have defined names, the formula auditing, and the calculation. Another is the data tab. In this group, it contains the commands most commonly associated with data from external sources and evaluating or arranging data. We have get external data. So in this group of menu, it is used for advanced use of Microsoft Excel because you can associate your database into other data from outside sources. We also have connections, sort and filter. We have data tools and outline. Next one, we have the review tabs. In this group, it contains the commands most commonly associated with the text portions of a spreadsheet and sharing changes. We have proofing. We also have language, comments, and changes. In this group, the commonly used command are within the changes group, like protecting the sheet, protecting the entire workbook, or sharing the workbook. And we also have the view tab. In this group, it contains the commands most commonly associated with the variety of ways you can look at a worksheet or a workbook. For example, we have here workbook views. Workbook views are in these different views like normal, page layout, page break, custom, full screen. And we also have show, zoom, window, and macros. So those are the different ribbon tabs in Microsoft Excel and some of the associated commands per tab. This time, let us talk about the basic commands in Microsoft Excel. These are the basic commands in MS Excel. First, open Excel program, create, save, and close Excel file, and of course, exit Excel program. Let me demonstrate to you the basic commands of MS Excel. So this is how your desktop will look like if you are using a Windows operating system. So first option to open Microsoft Excel is that you can use the taskbar. So here is the taskbar, as you can see on my pointer. And if Microsoft Excel shortcut icon is in your taskbar, you could just click it and then the Microsoft Excel program will be launched instantly. And another way is that you can use the start button or the Windows button. As you click start button or the Windows button, usually there is a productivity group on the pane or on the panel. So you can enlarge the productivity tool and then click for the Microsoft Excel icon in here. And instantly the Microsoft Excel will be launched. You can also start Excel by using the search bar. So in here, the icon which has a magnifying glass, it's like that one. So you can click in here and then type Excel, and just click on the Microsoft Excel menu and the program will be launched. What if you do not have the Microsoft Excel in here? So let's say, let us unpin this one on the taskbar. So how to create shortcut of Microsoft Excel in your taskbar and in your desktop. So you just click on the Start menu or the Windows menu, go to Productivity, expand the folder, and then you can right click on the Excel icon, and then you can choose more, and then pin to taskbar. So as you could see, we now have the Microsoft Excel shortcut icon in here. So you can just click it and the Microsoft Excel will be launched. Another one, if you wanted to create a shortcut icon, just go to the Microsoft Excel icon using your start menu, and then you can just click and drag on the Excel icon and then drop it on the desktop. So it will create a shortcut icon of the Excel program. And just double click it and the Excel program will be launched. So this is how your Microsoft Excel will look like if you are using the latest version of the Microsoft Excel. Okay, so first and now let us do the other basic command, um, creating your file or your workbook, your Excel file. An Excel file is called workbook. You can choose the new here under the new group. You can click blank workbook. Yeah. So we have here the blank workbook in a Microsoft Excel. So that's how to create a new Excel file. So what if you already have some data on the Microsoft Excel file? Next thing to do is to save the file or the workbook. There are several ways how to save the workbook. So you can just click the save icon on the title bar in this area. This is what we call the quick launch area. You can also click file and then save or save as. So here's the thing. If you just created the workbook, so it's a new workbook, when you click save, it will redirect you to a dialog box that will ask you to input the file name and the location where you want to save your file. And for example, here's the file name, book 1. In the latest version of Microsoft Excel, the extension name is .xlsx. If you want to change the version, you can just click on the extension name and then choose the version that is suitable, or it depends on what you want to use, but you can just leave it by default. On the location, you can determine where to save your file on your computer. By default, you have your documents folder wherein you are going to save your documents. If you want to view some of the folders that are available in your drive, you can click more locations and then browse. So in here, the different folders that are pre-configured in your computer will be shown. So you can just select the folder and then click save. So let's change this one to let's say total, let's say April report, and I will save it to documents, and then I will save it as Excel workbook. So click save, and then you could see the file name that we um, inputted a while ago is already the file name on the that is seen on the taskbar, or on the title bar, I should say. So that's how to save the workbook or the Excel file. So now the another basic command is close Excel file. To close Excel file, just click save and then close. Yeah, so as you can see, the workbook that is opened in here is already closed. If you choose file and close, the f- the Microsoft Excel program will not be closed, because the option allows you to close only the active workbook. If you want to exit the whole Microsoft Excel program, you need to click File and then Exit. Or in this version, you can just click the X button in here. Okay, or close. So those are the basic Excel commands. Moving on, let us discuss about working with your worksheet. Okay, so let us familiarize ourselves with the Excel worksheet. By default, as you create a new workbook, Microsoft Excel worksheet has one sheet by default. And so you could see here the number, the information about the worksheet. Sheet 1. If you want to add more worksheets, you can just click the new sheet button in here, and then another worksheet will be displayed. So dito, magkaiba yung treatment natin ng sheet 1 and sheet 2. They could be associated, but they are different sheets. Yung data na nandito at yung sa sheet 1 at yung data na nasa sheet 2 ay magkaiba. Pero pwede silang i-associate later on kapag may data na yung worksheet natin. So we can have as many worksheets as we want. I'm just not sure about the number, but 100 of worksheets could be created in the Microsoft Excel. At bawat worksheet, meron siyang working areas, or yung ating pinaka working area, which is represented by columns and of course rows. Yan. So yung column natin, ito yung sa mga, ang kanyang header ay yung mga letters. At ang row naman natin, ang kanyang row headers ay numbers. So imagine kung gaano karami yung ating columns and rows sa isang worksheet. So let's say dito, it's letter A, B, and then up to Z, and then AA, AB, AC, AD, up to XFD. So you do now the calculation. So that's how powerful or how huge a worksheet is. And about sa row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to row 1,048,576. So, ganyan kadami yung rows and columns sa isang worksheet. So, kung gaano kadami yung column at row sa sheet 1, ganun din of course sa sheet 2, sheet 3, and sheet 4. Okay, so you could just imagine kung gaano kalaki ang data na pwedeng i-hold or i-interpret, i-manage ng isang Excel workbook. Dito sa ating worksheet, meron itong tinatawag natin na cell indicator. Itong parang rectangular outline dito, cell indicator natin. Okay, and then if we are pointing our mouse sa ating worksheet, nag-iiba din yung ating mouse pointer. Just like ngayon, yan, yung mouse pointer natin, yan, para siyang cross. And then when we put yung hollow na cross, and then ito naman, lumiliit siya, fill handler ang tawag naman natin dito. Okay, so ayan. So yung worksheet natin, bawat rectangular part, ito yung intersection na tinatawag. Ang tawag natin dyan ay cell. Okay? Bawat rectangular part ng worksheet natin or yung parang table natin, ang tawag natin dyan ay cell. Kung ano yung cell na kung saan nakalagay yung ating cell indicator dito, meron niyang tinatawag na cell address. At yung cell address naman ay makikita natin dito sa may name box natin. Yan, it indicates the active cell, kung ano yung cell na active. Yan, at kung ano yung active cell dito, for example, A1, ganyan, dyan malalagay yung data na ikikiin natin sa ating keyboard. Yan. For example, dyan. So, kung titignan natin, let's say itong data na 1, 2, 3, ang A1, ang cell A1, ang laman niya ay 123. Ang cell A2 naman, ang laman niya ay 456. So, ganun din. Sa lahat ng cells natin, merong corresponding na ano yan, na cell name or meron siyang parang cell address which is found in here. Dito sa part na to, ang tawag naman natin dito ay formula bar. Itong formula bar, dito dinidisplay kung ano yung content ng cell. Pwedeng yung mismong actual or the actual cell content or pwedeng yung formula. For example, dito. Yan. So, makikita natin, manual input natin kanina ito, 1, 2, and 3. Kaya yun yung nakikita natin dito sa ating formula bar. So that cell A1 has a content of 123. And cell A2 has a content 456. Ngayon, kung let's say gagamitan natin yan ng formula, let's say dito sa ating C3, sa cell C3 natin na address bar, for example, i-add natin yung laman ng cell A1 at yung laman ng cell A2, makikita natin 579. Kung dito sa cell A1 at A2 natin, nakikita natin yung actual text inputted na 1, 2, 3 at 456. Dito, since ginamitan natin siya ng formula, ang makikita natin dito ay formula, yung equal A1 plus A2, which indicates na itong 579 ay na-derive by adding the content of A1 and A2. Okay, so that's how our cells work. Mapa-text man yan or mapa-number man yan yung kanyang content. Okay? Dito sa ating worksheet, itong mga columns and rows natin, pwede din natin silang i-format. Usually, pwede nating palakihin, pwede rin nating paliitin. Ganon din dito sa may rows natin, columns. Kung magre-resize kayo ng column na paisa-isa, you just click on the yung parang ano, yung parang tawag dito, yung parang line dito, yung kanyang division per column, magiging ganyan yung view ng arrow ninyo. So, pwede na ninyo siyang i-click and drag. Yan, that's resizing single column or single row. If you want to resize multiple rows, just click and drag on the, or multiple columns, just click and drag on the columns that you wanted to resize. You wanted to resize and then click and drag. So kung ano yung size ng column na drinag mo, yun din yung magiging size ng iba pang mga columns na selected. Ganun din. Select yung mga rows na gusto mong i-resize as one and then click and drag. So as you could see, pare-pareho na sila ng sizes. Yan. Yung mga data natin dito sa worksheets, pwede natin silang i-format. Depende sa itsura na gusto natin. Let's say, kagaya nito. By default kasi, ito yung kanyang format. Pero kung gusto ninyong palitan yung format niyan, first things first is to select the cell. Yan. And then, do all the formatting na gusto ninyo. Okay? Or depende sa nire-require na formatting. Ayan, pwede nyong lagyan ng mga ganyan. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, that's about working with Excel. Working with your worksheets. How you key in data, how you manipulate or how you manage all the data, how to identify where the data is. So, yun yung ating mga dapat na malaman na basics sa worksheet. Okay? Let us discuss the last topic of this part 1 video lecture about identifying Excel vocabularies. Para mas maintindihan natin at mas magamit natin na smoothly ang Microsoft Excel, may mga terms na dapat nating tandaan or may mga terms na dapat na maging familiar tayo. For example, active cell, active worksheet, adjacent range, cell, cell reference, column, formula, range, range reference, row, sheet tab, spreadsheet, workbook, and worksheet. Okay, let me further discuss about the common terms of the Microsoft Excel. So, dito sa part na to, i-describe ko yung mga terms dito sa ating Microsoft Excel para mas maintindihan natin kung ano itong mga terms na ito. Okay, so ito yung mga terms kanina na nandun sa ating presentation. So, unahin natin yung active cell. When we say active cell, it is the cell where our cell indicator points, or it is the current location of our cell indicator. For example, dito tayo sa isang sheet, yung cell indicator natin ay itong ating parang yan, yung nagmo-move dyan sa screen ninyo. Yung cell indicator na yan, sinasabi niya kung ano yung active cell. Yan, yung active cell ay makikita natin dito sa ating name box. So, sundan nyo yung aking pointer. So, nandyan yung name box. Kung ano yung combination ng column at row dito sa ating name box, ibig sabihin dyan yung intersection ng active cell. So, kagaya dito. Nandito yung active cell natin. Yan, yung active cell natin ay C3. So, ayan. Yan yung ating active cell, C3. At kung ano yung active cell natin sa worksheet, ito yung indication na dito natin ilalagay yung data. Yan. So, for example, ang active cell natin ay C3. Kapag nagpindot tayo ng data, yung data na nilagay natin ay mapupunta doon sa C3 na ating active cell. Ayan. For example, gusto mo namang maglagay ng data sa A1. So, kailangan mong pumunta sa column A, row 1. So, yun yung pupuntahan mo and then maglalagay ka ng data. So, yung ating active cell ay yung A1. Okay? Another term na meron tayo dito ay yung active worksheet. Yan, when we say active worksheet, ito naman yung worksheet na currently active doon sa mismong Excel file natin. Okay? So, example dito sa sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, and sheet 4. Kung ano yung worksheet na nakikita natin ang data, yun ang active worksheet. Yan, for example, this one. Ang active worksheet natin ay sheet 1. Ang nakikita natin ay yung data na meron sa sheet 1. Dito naman, ang active natin ay yung ating sheet 2. So, yun yung nakikita natin na data, yung laman ng sheet 2. Ganun din sa sheet 3 at sa mga iba pang mga worksheets. And also, meron din tayong term na adjacent range. Yan. Pag sinabi nating adjacent, magkakatabi. Yan. Pag sinabi nating adjacent range, ito yung mga selected or highlighted na cells na magkakatabi. Yan. For example, adjacent yan. Okay, so yan. Adjacent range ang tawag natin dyan. Ang range na ito ay G4 to K4. Yan, yung pansinin natin yung ating cell indicators. G4, H4, I4, J4, K4. Yan. So, itong mga cells na magkakatabi na yan, yan ang tinatawag natin na adjacent range. Yan. Pwede rin pababa. Yan. Adjacent range din yan ng mga rows. From row G4, for example, to row G10. Yan. Kunwari, ang instruction is select adjacent range from G4 to G10. So, ang magiging action natin ay punta natin yung ating cell indicator sa G4 at i-highlight natin hanggang G10. So, ganon. Let's say, select adjacent range of cells from H5 to M5. So, pwede rin ganon. So, H5 to M5. Okay. And then, meron din tayong term na cell. Okay, before going to cell, kung meron tayong adjacent range, meron din tayong non-adjacent range. Pwede rin kasi tayong mag-select ng non-adjacent range. For example, i-click mo lang yung, or for example, i-highlight mo lang yung G4, H5, at K3. Ayan, so non-adjacent yan. So, paano gagawin natin? Yan, kung ganyan yung instruction, for example, select non-adjacent range, namely G4, H5, and K3. So, paano yung gagawin natin? Una, select natin yung G4. Yan, so yung G4. Paano natin ise-select at the same time yung H5 at saka H3, ang H5 nandito. So, kung i-drag natin pababa na ganyan, hindi pwede kasi for adjacent cells lang yon. Yan. Para ma-select naman natin yung non-adjacent cell, press hold control key sa inyong keyboard. So, just like now, dito tayo sa first cell, G4, I am pressing control key sa keyboard, press hold, and then locate H5. So, dito yung H5, and then K3. So, dito yung K3. So, as you could see, non-adjacent cells na yung ating na-select. So, yan yung difference ng adjacent range and non-adjacent range. Okay, meron naman tayong cell. Kapag sinabi nating cell, it is the smallest unit dito sa ating worksheet, or it is the intersection point of the column and the row. Kung saan nag-meet yung column at saka yung row, yun yung tinatawag nating cell. For example, here, this is cell I4. Yan. This is cell K7. So, bawat rectangular apart dyan sa worksheet natin, we call it cell. Yan. Ano naman itong cell reference? When we say cell reference, it is the address of the cell. Yan. Kunwari ito. Okay, so ito yung ating cell indicator. Paano mo malalaman yung cell reference? Cell reference is the address of the cell. It is located on the name box. This cell is reference to M6. Yan. And then ito naman, saan ito? Ang reference naman nito ay O3. So ayan. So may mga instances kasi, for example, may data dito at meron ding let's say data dyan at merong data dyan, and okay, kunwari may data dyan. Ang data natin, kung papansinin natin, nasa I2, I3, I4, and I5. Pwede kasi na let's say add the cell containing the reference I4 and I2. For example, ganon. So, pwede mong paano mo malalaman yung reference? Okay, so ganon. Hanapin mo kung saan yung I2 and then yung I4. Yan. Pwedeng may mga instructions kasi later on. Add the data in I2 and I4. So, kaya tayo naglalagay ng kunwari I2 plus I4. Okay, so ganon. So, yun yung about sa cell reference. Next naman na term natin, column. Napakadali niyan. Ito yung ating column. Yan, represented by letters. Meron tayong formula. Yung formula, ito yung mga ginagamitan natin ng mga operators. Yan, kagaya nito. Yan, ipalakihin lang natin. Okay, ayan, kagaya niyan, meron siyang operator, yung addition, multiplication, subtraction, less than, greater than, at marami pang mga operators later on. Yun yung tinatawag nating formula. It is a content of a cell that we input, which contains expressions. Okay? So, ayan. Meron din tayong range. Yan. Yung range naman, so kagaya nung sa may adjacent range kanina, yan, yung range natin, ito naman yung grupo or range ng mga cells na pwede nating i-highlight as one argument. Yan. For example, i-add mo itong I2, content ng I2 hanggang I6. Yan, ito I6 ito, so 57. Yan. Kung i-add natin sa kanila instantly, ang instantly ang gagawin natin I2 plus I3 plus I4 plus I5 plus I6. So ganon, initially ganon yung gagawin natin. Pero may mga instruction later on na add data from range, let's say I2 to I6. Yan, pwede nating gawin na instead na mahaba na expression na ganito, pwedeng ganyan. Okay? For example, sum I2 to I6 instead na isa-isahin natin. Okay, so ganon. Yun yung tawag natin na range. Yung meron siyang starting point at meron siyang ending point ng cell reference. Okay? And then range reference, ang range reference naman, ito yung starting and ending point ng cell addresses or cell reference. Yan. I2 to I6, yan yung range reference na tinatawag. Okay. Meron din tayong row. Very easy. Itong ating horizontal na column. Yan, represented by numbers. Okay, so yun yung row. And then when we say sheet tab, okay, sheet tab, ito yung mga sheet tabs natin. How many how many sheet tabs do we have in here? So we have 4 sheet tabs. Yan, sheet tab for sheet 1, sheet tab for sheet 2, sheet tab for sheet 3. Okay, so ang daming sheets. Okay, so ayan. We also have what we call spreadsheet. Ayan, yung spreadsheet na term, ito yung term na ginagamit natin to refer doon sa ating mismong spreadsheet, combinations of columns and rows. Yung parang pinaka-worksheet natin. So, yan yung ating spreadsheet. So, interrelated sila ng spreadsheet at saka worksheet. Kasi itong worksheet, ginagamit naman natin itong term na ito kung yung mismong program ang ginagamit natin, we are working with the program to input the data, yung location or yung working area, ang term natin doon ay worksheet. Yan. Ang spreadsheet kasi kapag printed na yung file mo, nasa papel na siya, yun na yung ating tinatawag na physical na spreadsheet. Yan, physical or the non-physical na spreadsheet natin. Okay, interrelated sila. Workbook, ang workbook naman na term, ginagamit natin itong term na to refer about yung Excel file. Yan, parang sa Microsoft Word. Ang Microsoft Word, yung tawag natin sa Microsoft Word file ay document. Yan. Sa Microsoft PowerPoint, ang tawag natin sa Microsoft PowerPoint file ay presentation. Dito naman sa Microsoft Excel, ang tawag natin sa Excel file ay workbook. Okay? So, those are the common terms that we use in Microsoft Excel. That ends part 1. So, I hope na may natutunan na tayo kahit papaano, or kung dati man na alam na natin yung Microsoft Excel, kahit papaano merong naidagdag doon sa mga learnings natin sa video presentation na ito. So, thank you very much. Stay safe and see you sa part 2 ng ating video lecture on Unit 4, Office Productivity, Microsoft Excel.